Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Justy.
And together we're losing it.
We both lost over 100 pounds by developing healthy habits.
And I also had weight loss surgery and used a GLP-1 medication.
And I used a GLP-1 medication and had skin removal surgery.
We're really passionate about helping people learn to live a healthy lifestyle by sharing our experiences.
But we're not doctors, so if you have questions, reach out to your medical team. And you may see our mascot Sancho pop up from time to time.
And all three of us hope that you find our content useful.
Welcome back, friends. We're here together, live and in person. If you're watching this on YouTube,
Yes.
if you're listening, it probably sounds the same.
Right. And it might sound a little bit different than normal because we are in an off-site location. We're actually in the event space of one of my bakeries today. So it might be a little bit loud.
A little background noise,
Yeah.
but we figured we needed to do something while we're together because we just left our little retreat that we hosted. Yeah.
So fun.
And so we wanted to kind of come on and talk about that while we have it's all fresh.
Right.
Because we just left there this morning.
And that's why it was super, super late. So
Late, so
we're like, let's kill
killing
some time.
time.
Yeah.
And so I know we went back and forth when we first planned this thing from oh, we should do a camping trip because we love to camp.
Right.
And we were like, we should do like a primitive camping trip because we've done that where we backpacked in. But I don't know if there's enough bitches out there as crazy as we are. So where we dialed it back a bit and then we were like, oh, let's just do something small, maximum 10 people. Well, we had, including the two of us, we had an additional 5 ladies that joined us, so we had 7 total. And we found that was the perfect amount. It's not too many personalities in one house for 3 nights. So we were there Thursday through today through Sunday. And it was just really, really nice because it was people that we already interact with online.
Right.
Yeah, a few of them, if not all of them, kind of because we've lost between the two of us 260 pounds. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Person.
Right. Right. Exactly. The whole reason that we started doing this in the first place was just accountability.
Right.
And because we knew we had a lot of knowledge between the two of us, me having done it, lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, finally having bariatric surgery to Justy chipping away at hers and losing it, no surgery. Then she had skin removal. So we kind of have a little bit of knowledge about everything we love.
She really is. We've both been in the restaurant business our whole life, but she loves to cook. I just do it because it paid the bills.
Mhm.
She loves it. I love to work out and I love to teach people how to work out. So we kind of have that going as well.
So we were able to play off of that. So I did some meal prepping and kind of taught the ladies and shared recipes and brought them into the kitchen to some of the things that were a little more involved, I just did my own and showed them. And then some things I kind of gave a demonstration, tell, show, do, review, gave them a demonstration, show them what to do, and then kind of let them do it. And then Justy led a little workout session, or we had some
Mindset
workshops, a couple workshops that we led.
We did finding your why workshop. We did a motivation workshop. We did, I gave them a worksheet about how to pivot their mindset, steps to take next time they're making a decision or having a feeling that's kind of overwhelming and leading them to make bad habits, to kind of how to work through that, how I've learned to work through that. So it was really, really good. We did some crafts. We made our own t-shirts, and then we made our own candles with a message inside that when they burn it down, it'll give them a message. That was really fun. We hiked Chimney Rock.
Yes, we did.
Which is not easy. It's about 260 stairs or something like that. I don't remember.
And you know what, though, the funny thing is, it was mostly just about connecting.
Right.
And there was a lot of, I want to say, kind of off-air conversation.
Right.
I don't know if we were recording anything.
Right.
This was not planned conversation. It wasn't in the middle of a workshop. It wasn't during anything planned. It was just sitting around. We only had the TV on for the Georgia game because we had some Georgia fans. The TV, we didn't even know how to turn the TV on until that game came on. So it wasn't anything like that.
Really interesting is that we didn't like, we'd planned like all of our meals and snacks and that sort of thing, but we didn't even eat a lot of the stuff that we planned because we were just so busy chatting and, getting to know each other. And for us, it was more about, we talked about at the beginning, it's about sharing our knowledge, but then is building a community of sisterhood. And we've had just women, and I know some of you boys out there are mad at us, but it is what it is. A community of sisterhood. And I really feel like we have 5 sisters now that moving forward, we can just build to our like retreat sisterhood, right? And
We're all in a group chat. So
yep,
we just
accountability.
decided that chat is now for accountability purposes that we can, because each woman left with a to-do list, a goal that they want to work on with an action behind it, and how are we going to do it, and what's the accountability piece behind it. And part of that accountability piece is just our chat, just our group chat, where we can say like, hey, today I did this, and a lot of them wanted to get on the meal prep train because they're not. So it felt really good to be able to like teach that and shortcuts to that, and their struggles to getting 60 grams of protein, 100 grams of protein, and teaching them how they can get to that.
And I think a lot of them just didn't realize a lot of things that you can do to substitute and that sort of thing. And we also did where we gave them a thank you card. So they wrote themselves a thank you card. They self-addressed it, and then I'm going to send that out in about 3 months. And so like I wanted to think about where they're going to want to be at in 3 months, beginning of next year, and just send them that as a reminder of why they made that commitment of a weekend to themselves, it was
a commitment because we were in North Carolina,
Charlotte, outside of Charlotte.
So Dusty came from Charlotte. A couple other women came from Charlotte. We had one that came from Virginia, one that came from Michigan. I came from Delaware. So it wasn't easy for everyone to just walk away. So it's a real commitment to yourself to say like, hey, families and whatnot, everybody left their life in whatever state they were coming from to come to this. And the joke was, they were like, friends were like, wait, so you're just meeting people from the internet? And they're like, yeah. And the pisser is there was a goat. So when we got to the house, Jesse and I got there first, so we could get stuff set up and everything. And we pulled up, we're like, is that a goat?
And it's not just pulling up to this house. It's like in the woods, like going down in a dirt road. And I'm thinking, oh shit, like
right. But we had to like map out how to get there. We got lost getting there. Once you turn off the main road, the GPS kind of stops, and you have to kind of figure it out. And the Airbnb, they gave us further directions.
Right.
So you're about halfway down the road, and it's still a dirt road, and you're all over the place. And so we finally found the house, and once we got there, there's this goat that's living at the house. It's in its own little fenced-in area, but. So the joke was when the girls they got there and they're like, oh, people are like, oh, you're just meeting random strangers off the internet. And they're like, yeah. And so there's this goat here. I'm like, you should let them know the goat was for sacrifice tomorrow. So they were kind of, they did.
Awesome.
They did.
And what's really interesting is we had women that were, all of us were in our late 40s, 50s, right? Kind of that age range where if we had kids, they were grown. Some didn't have kids, some did. Some were married, some were not. We had sizes from a small to, I think, a double or triple X. And so it was really professional, different professions, different everything. But they all came together for one reason, and that was to have a weekend of resetting and really just learning a little bit more about living a healthy lifestyle. And a lot of them had a lot of knowledge on it. And the thing is that we know what
get all together.
We know what we should do. We know that if you eat less and work out more, you're probably gonna lose weight. But the actually doing it, and I think the flip to them was it is in your mind. It's a lot. It's in your mind. It's excuses. It's procrastination. It's not feeling motivated, and it's just little tools to get you out of that. Talking yourself out of doing good things to being proud of the good things you are doing. And once you flip that, it just really has a great momentum.
and starting with one thing at a time.
Mhm.
So like they were all gung ho about like I'm gonna meal prep and everything, and it's like maybe don't start with like a whole week's worth of meals. Maybe start with like I'm gonna meal prep my lunches this week,
Right.
and just starting small and building off of it. Because when if you were to take that first meal prep and just like go all in, and then you're gonna be like, damn, that took a while. You have to get into a groove.
Mhm.
It took me a while to get into a groove, and I've been a chef for 30 years. So like it takes time. It just
And
takes
the
time.
same thing with working out. If you've never set foot in a gym, to be like, oh, I'm gonna spend 5 days a week for an hour, that's probably not what you need to be doing. So,
And
starting
everybody
off
got-
walking,
They got yoga mats and
workout
and
plans.
stuff. So Jesse led a strength training class that was just with that. So what? You don't have a gym membership. You don't have weights at home. You can do all of this without that. And she even suggested keeping a band in the car so you're sitting in traffic and you can still do some stuff in the car with a band.
Where there's a will, there's a way, as my daddy would always say. And
A lot of aha moments, a
Uh-huh.
lot of note taking, a lot of we learned from them. It was all very full circle.
and I'm leaving, and I feel like I'm pretty motivated anyway. Like I have a lot of structure and accountability behind my life to keep my momentum. But I left even more excited about, okay, what is going to be next for me? Or what am I wanting to accomplish, and just feeling a little more energetic about it. So that's really good. And I have a whole nother group of people that is going to help me be accountable too. And they're not just Instagram people.
Right.
Now we know them.
we know.
Now we have a little bond with them.
And we know more about their
Yeah.
families and their
Mhm.
life and their upbringing because
Mhm.
a lot
They were fun.
and a lot of personal and we left it open to people. Care if you want to, don't care if you don't want to, but a lot of things that you don't know about people by following them on social media came out
Right.
in conversation,
Mhm.
just in sharing, like being transparent and sharing. And that's one of the reasons why people love us because we don't hide anything.
Right.
We have a bad day.
Filter.
No, there's never a filter. This is it. What you see is what you get. I don't know how to use a filter, so I don't have the energy to use a filter. But we're pretty transparent in that we're going to share the good times. We're going to share the bad times. I've shared weight regain more than once. I shared what I was doing to combat the weight regain. And we just tell it like it is.
So, we were talking on the way home. We had about an hour and a half drive, and we may have stopped at the TJ Maxx because that's what I like to do.
It was the biggest TJ Maxx I've ever been.
It was great. It's the one in Gastonia, but and I'm glad I only spent like $54, so we're good. But we were talking, and we definitely want to do this again.
Yes.
And we definitely wanted to do it again, and we really feel like keeping it around 5 to 7 people addition to us, so 8 to 9 people total is our sweet spot.
Yeah, because we don't want to mix too many personalities. We don't want it to turn into a drama
No.
situation.
Or just too much to where we're
Can't give the personal.
I don't want to say herding cats, but just not giving the personal and really taking just the downtime that we were able to take and get to know everybody. So I feel, and because we're not doing this to make money,
No,
right?
no,
We're
no.
doing this because of the connection, and it's a lot of work for us to plan these meals and put this stuff together. But it really is worth it, that connection and just helping people. Her and I just, for whatever reason, we've always been people who like to help,
Yeah.
and people like to share, and people that like to teach. And
And
so
that's accountability for us.
Right, it
We
is.
said it multiple times
Uh-huh.
over this weekend. If we didn't have our Instagram and the following that we have and knowing that people are watching,
Mhm.
we may not.
We may
I'm not
not.
gonna say we wouldn't have, but we may not have succeeded.
Right. And it's because there are a lot of times, especially when I've made connections with people on Instagram, that it's kind of like, "Ooh, I don't want to go to the gym today, but I know so-and-so's gonna text me in a few days if I'm not."
Right.
And the same thing with my gym partners. I've been working out at another gym for the last couple of months. And I'm finally happy that I'm going back home to my old gym because I have friends there. I have accountability partners there. I have people there who are like, I know they're going to be there. They know I'm going to be there. And it's just
And
like,
looking for each other.
we're looking for each other. And so I've missed that. So I'm really excited to be doing that. And all of this is about really sharing our knowledge, accountability, and just being real, right? Yeah.
And we wanted to keep it on task with the being mindful, but also to have fun. So that's why we did like the chimney rock thing where it's like it's something different. But it still was a challenge.
It's beautiful.
And so we have a new location in mind.
Yeah,
Which we don't talk about yet, but we have a new location. We've kind of sussed it out a bit, checked it out, and we have a new location in mind.
So we want it to, another thing that we're thinking about is we want it to be affordable. Because when I was a single mom, I really couldn't afford a lot. And this I feel like would have been doable given enough time to save and that sort of thing. And so thinking about a place that is, going to be nice and active and we can do things but we'll still be we'll be affordable.
Yeah, we
try to-
try to keep it in the triple digits.
Right. Uh-huh.
And that was we hosted them for included their stay for the 3 nights, all of their food activity, like everything that we did was included in that.
Right.
So like you're basically getting yourself there and then the rest of your long weekend was paid for. Which is kind of nice actually to have us do all the legwork.
Right. So, and I think what we were talking about also is kind of doing like a challenge, a physical challenge, where we're thinking about has that, and then changing a few little things, definitely. But I would love to find like a local gym that will let us come in and I can teach how to use some of the equipment or just the layout of a gym, or because a lot of them weren't gym people are comfortable in the gym. One person I think had said they've never been in a gym.
Right.
And so have a
Mhm.
gym intimidation. So whether or not you're a gym person or not, I know I can teach you something. So I want to kind of do that. I think that would be really fun as just like a day, morning, afternoon little activity. So yeah, I think we're excited. And then we're thinking February, end of February.
Mhm.
I can't do anything until after Valentine's Day because I have bakeries. And she has like the whole kids and everything. So we're thinking the last weekend in February, first weekend in March, but more to come on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Of 26.
Mhm.
And so that's like 4-5 months away. I don't know, whatever.
What month is this?
This is October, so which is almost over November, December, January, February. Yeah, like 4 or 5 months away. So we're gonna try to get that going as soon as possible and put it out there and see how many people are interested. But it was fun. It was, I think, what they needed, and I think it was what we needed. And I'm just really hopeful that some of the women, all of the women, kind of keep up on the reason that they came and the things that they discovered, the whys, the things when they lack motivation, how they can get themselves to just do it anyways and be more determined and
Lean on the accountability part. Because
consistent.
Now,
Mhm.
now we only have 6. Well, I already had Jesse, so Jesse and I have 5 new accountability partners.
Right, right.
They've got 6 new
Right.
accountability
Mhm.
partners. So it's kind of like you can reach out to any one of us and it's a
Mhm.
pump you up group. Somebody's gonna pump you up.
And a fun group of ladies. And it's also, with accountability, like accountability is a thing in its own, right? To reach out and say, hey, I'm struggling, or to even just reach out and text, hey, I went to the gym today, or reach out and say, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Like that's a commitment. And so I'm just really hoping that this group is committed. I know I'll be a bugaboo and kind of bug the hell out of them. I plan on texting on Sundays for kind of set yourself up Sunday or whatever we want to call it, just to kind of check in once a week. And then, and I know some of them will ebb and flow as we ebb and flow. For a long time, Steph was probably the main person on our Instagram. And then I've sort of been lately. And I'm sure at some point she will be again. And, we'll go back and forth. So, yeah, I'm excited.
And so we touched on this a little bit earlier, but the funny thing is, we didn't eat as first. It was like, gosh, we promised these women we were going to feed them. Like, is there enough food? Because for me, I sometimes forget, like, I have a tiny tummy, so I have to keep in mind that people eat more than I do, and so I want to make sure that I'm planning enough food for them. So I start to doubt myself, even though I have a whole ass meal prep company and I feed women who have whole stomachs all the time and men. But what I found interesting was they were saying how they struggled to get protein in and but they were overeating calories and things like that. And when you fuel yourself properly
Mhm.
and you put protein first, you're right. We skipped snacks every day.
Yeah.
And then we were like, it was like today it came to a point where we were like, we're just gonna make the snack because we did a steamed edamame, like a seasoned and steamed edamame. And some people were like, oh, I've never had that before. We're like, we're just gonna make it. Nobody's hungry because it was right after breakfast, but so you could try it. And then we took all the leftovers from the fridge and just put it out on the island. And we were like, pack up boxes to take home. So everybody was like packing stuff up to take home. They're like, oh, I want this or I want this. So we forgot our energy bites before our hike.
Yeah.
And we're like, how did we forget snacks?
We were fueling our body correctly, but we were also filling our time with something that took our attention, right? Like meaningful conversation, meaningful topics or activities, and just, bonding. And that took our thought away from that wandering, like, oh, I want to eat popcorn or
There was no, I didn't even have those snacks we had on the snacks before.
Mhm.
And they were mindful snacks. So we didn't have like chips or, things like that. We had the campfire. So we had s'mores. They were like, wait, so we can have real s'mores? We're like, yes, we can have real s'mores.
Right.
Like, yeah, you just have to know how to balance it.
You wake up at 6, you work out twice a day, and you can only eat, so much food and know this and know that. Like, that's not it.
If you are still hungry, you want to go back to
Go
seconds,
ahead.
go back for seconds. However,
Let's
we
think
wanna-
about it.
wanna talk through it.
Right.
Are you really hungry for seconds, or
Mhm.
was it just something that you were
Right.
Kind of like,
Or is it just a lot less than you normally eat?
exactly.
Right? Because what we are eating is a portion that should
Yeah.
satiate
We
you
can
for
set
about
the
4 hours,
scale.
right? Like we were weighing
And
stuff.
they were cute because it came to a point where, when was it? It was something that we were getting ready to do, and they're like, here's the scale, and they brought the scale over to me because, I can eyeball, and I'm sure you can too.
Yeah.
We cut fish for a long time.
Right.
We know what a 4-ounce piece of fish looks like. We know what a 6-ounce piece of fish looks like. We cut that shit for days.
Right.
And I still do it because of the meal prep company. I can kind of eyeball 2 ounces, 4 ounces, especially when it comes to protein, because I weigh all the protein. And I was, even me, we had a pork loin, fall sheep ham roast pork loin that we did, which was delicious.
Really good.
And I looked at it and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I don't think I ordered enough, Justy. I'm like, I just got the one pork loin and there's 7 of us. And we're like looking at it and she's like, well, we can da, da, da. And in my mind, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to underfeed these people. And they think they have to eat like birds.
Right.
But then when I did the math on it, I was like, oh, there's enough for everybody to have like 4 to 5 ounces and then some. And we had leftovers,
Right.
but even me and my trained eye, I looked at that pork loin and I was like, this isn't enough. And it was enough. It was more than enough. So it's kind of like,
We're just so used to restaurant portions or portions we see.
right. And yeah, because we stopped for lunch on the way home.
Oh,
Holy crap, we went to it because I'm in, North Carolina, so I'm gonna have some barbecue. And we stopped at this place, it was highly rated. So we go and we're like, oh, they have a lunch portion. It says lunch, smaller portion. And the price was right.
Right. Yeah.
And you got 2 sides and you got to choose 2 meats. It was gigantic.
It was
And
big.
cornbread, the cornbread was this big. And the cornbread was delicious. And then like the 2 meats and the 2 sides, I had like coleslaw, mac and cheese. We did. Because I was like, I can't eat anymore. And then I had some again tonight, but and I still can't eat anymore.
I could have eaten that whole.
Yes, I would have eaten that.
And I did not have bariatric surgery, but because I've been mindful of my portions over the years and smaller portions, my stomach can't handle it just like hers can. Now, I do have a bigger stomach probably, but it's still a lot smaller. I can't, there's no way I could eat what
You would have been so
I would have, and I'm already uncomfortable because I can never go to the bathroom when I'm out of my own home. I'm like that. So probably TMI.
I don't know.
But you would think by now I've learned to bring some Miralax with me, but and so yeah, it was just like you think you have to have, this, or you need seconds, or you're not full, so you didn't get enough. But it's really about, okay, did I put food in my body? Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see how long it takes until I feel hungry again, instead of needing that full feeling.
Gotta go right back to eat more
Yeah,
for 30 minutes. And if you're still like, "Damn, I'm really hungry,"
right,
and 9 times out of 10 you're not.
right.
If you really are, then you go back for it.
Because if you ate about a cup and a half of food and you're hungry in 30 minutes, you're not hungry.
Right.
Right. That'll fill you for about
If you're
3 hours.
there's 2 hours,
Right.
that's legit.
Right.
When you're not hungry, so
Right.
whatever. But we're
Yeah.
just really, a lot of it was talking about like being in tune with your body and understanding what your body wants and what it needs. And that day that we did the more strenuous activity of climbing up to the top of Chimney Rock, like you probably are hungry that day. And the funny thing that I found was I wasn't hungry that day. I was hungry the next day. I woke up hungry and I'm like rarely hungry. So I woke up actually hungry and that doesn't happen. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, our retreat was good. I feel like it was successful. Steph feels like it was successful. We are going to, email or text or whatever, contact everybody and just get some really good feedback after they've gotten home. What we could have done differently or suggestions or, just making sure that that we kind of understand the perspective so we can do even better.
So we want to collect feedback. We have a thought in mind and we want to make sure what they're saying aligns with our thought, put it together in one and then shoot for like a February, March.
February, March. We'll be working on that. We're gonna make the final decision by November 1st.
Yeah.
Because we just need the time to prepare
And
and
people, some people do have that, a couple $100 to put out,
right,
but some don't.
Right.
So we want to give people time to plan.
and there's also things going on that kind of space for something that I don't know is guaranteed. So yeah, I'm excited and hopefully we can do this multiple times a year. I would like to. Yeah, but anyway, so if you have questions, reach out to us on Instagram, ask us, here on YouTube, you can message us.
Yeah.
And we look forward to, we look forward to our next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.